Saturday, 16 April, The Gap News This Morning, broadcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First, the headlines. Police acquiescent in disappearances of Joshua Hilmy and wife, says Suhakam. MOH to step up enforcement at Ramadan bazaars, says Khairy. Ferrero is not our customer, says Sime Darby. Russia hits Kiev missile plant after losing iconic warship. Shanghai residents scuffle with police over virus policy. And we must aim to beat Japan in group stage, says Zii Jia. And now the news in full. The Human Rights Commission of Malaysia, Suhakam, said that the shortcomings in police investigations into the disappearance of Christian preacher Joshua Hilmy and his wife Ruth Situpu amounted to the state's acquiescence to the abduction of the couple. According to a report by Suhakam, following an inquiry into the case, the police force's conduct was highly unsatisfactory and inadequate. It, however, noted that there is a lack of evidence to conclude that both Joshua and Ruth were abducted by the state itself. Joshua and Ruth were last seen on November 30, 2016, after leaving their home in Kampung Tunku, Petaling Jaya, and have never been heard of since. The couple drew controversy as Joshua, a Malay Muslim who converted to Christianity and became a pastor, was reported to have proselytized other Muslims in Malaysia. Suhakam suggested that during the course of the investigations into the couple's disappearance, the investigating officer failed to act immediately during the early stages and garner necessary information. The Food Safety and Quality Division of the Health Ministry has been instructed to step up its enforcement at Ramadan bazaars, especially at locations that receive complaints about food contamination. Health Minister Khairy said enforcement would also enable immediate action to be taken on any complaints related to food contamination. I ask consumers to lodge a complaint if there is food contamination so that the local authority in charge of the night market or bazaar can take action against the stalls and the ministry can come down and implement enforcement, he said, commenting on contaminated food bought by consumers in some Ramadan bazaars recently. Khairy, meanwhile, also asked the public to remain vigilant about food sold at Ramadan bazaars. Sime Darby Plantation Berhad SDP said that the Italian confectionery firm Ferrero, which is reportedly planning to stop sourcing palm oil from it, is not a direct customer and has not been for a while. The Reuters news agency reported that Ferrero had said it had requested all direct suppliers to stop supplying Ferrero with palm oil and palm kernel oil sourced indirectly from SDP until further notice. According to the Reuters report, Ferrero said it will stop buying palm oil from SDP over forced labor allegations. SDP confirmed in a statement Friday that a direct customer, Indian Food and Agricultural Group Cargill, had suspended sourcing palm oil and derivative products from SDP from February 25th. SDP said it had moved further ahead in the area of labor rights with measures that had been revised or instituted. Russia says it has hit a plant making anti-aircraft and anti-ship missiles outside the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. It came hours after it admitted that the Moskva warship had sunk following an explosion on Wednesday. Ukraine says it hit the Russian cruiser in the Black Sea with missiles. Russia has said a fire on board caused the sinking. Russia's defense ministry said attacks on Kiev would be intensified if Ukraine targeted Russian territory. The police chief of the Kiev region says the bodies of 900 civilians have been found there, more than a week after Russian troops pulled out. In the destroyed city of Mariupol, Ukrainian officials have accused the occupiers of exhuming bodies to hide evidence of crimes. Ukrainian forces will face a huge challenge in the east of the country, according to former CIA Director David Petraeus. The UN says more than 5 million Ukrainians have been forced out of their homes during the conflict. President Volodymyr Zelensky has again asked the West for more weapons and blamed countries buying Russian oil. Shanghai residents scuffle with hazmat-suited police, ordering them to surrender their homes to COVID-19 patients, videos on social media showed, providing a rare glimpse into rising discontent in the megacity over China's inflexible virus response. Shanghai, a city of 25 million and China's economic engine room, has become the heart of the country's biggest outbreak since the peak of the first virus wave in Wuhan over 2 years ago, rattling the country's adherence to a strict zero-COVID policy. Residents locked down since early April have complained of food shortages and overzealous officials, forcing them into state quarantine, as authorities rush to construct tens of thousands of beds to house COVID-19 patients with daily infections topping 20,000. Late Thursday, videos circulated on social media showing residents outside a compound shouting at ranks of officials holding shields labeled police as the officers tried to break through their line. And now for some sports news. National men's singles champion Zii Jia hopes Malaysia is able to defeat Japan in Group D of the 2022 Thomas Cup scheduled in Bangkok, Thailand from May 8 to 15. Even though the coming Group D encounter is an opportunity to avenge the 1-4 defeat at the hands of Japan in the last edition in Aarhus, Denmark, Zii Jia is fully aware of the strength of the 2014 champions, who are expected to top the group stage in the championship at Impact Arena. He said it was Malaysia's desire to be the leader in the group stage in the world's prestigious badminton team tournament. Apart from Japan, the national squad is also drawn with England and New Zealand in Group D. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. Police acquiescent in disappearances of Joshua Hilmy and wife, says Suhakam. MOH to step up enforcement at Ramadan bazaars, says Khairy. Ferrero is not our customer, says Sime Darby. Russia hits Kiev missile plant after losing iconic warship. Shanghai residents scuffle with police over virus policy. And we must aim to beat Japan in group stage, says Zii Jia. This has been the Gap News this morning, Saturday, 16 April, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We certainly welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.